GM unveiled its new Chevy Camaro at a ceremony in Detroit this weekend. The goal is clear. GM wants to overtake the Ford Mustang. Our Matt Miller was there, as he always is when new cars are unveiled. He joins us with highlights from his conversations. You talked to Mary Barra. I want to get to that in a second. But when we talk Camaro Mustang, I wonder, has nothing changed in the U.S. car market in the last 50 years? Is it still biggest engine, lightest body?
No, a lot has changed in the U.S. car market in the last 50 years. But for the people that care about this sort of muscle car segment, obviously you want a big, powerful engine, and you want to have a fairly light body. I mean, muscle cars aren't as light as other sports cars are, obviously. But no, you know, one of the things that Mary was telling me this weekend is that the people who started out on cruise and in these lower dollar segments that are used to now turbocharged four-cylinders, they're willing to accept that in a Camaro. So they're offering that. They're offering a V6 that's pretty powerful. I got a chance to drive. And then, of course, they're offering the 6.2-liter V8.
Yeah, I like all of us here in Manhattan getting a lot of cars. Without question, the most uncomfortable car I get in is a Cadillac. Without question.
That's the most uncomfortable?
Most uncomfortable car.
Well, then I'd say you're doing pretty well if a Cadillac's the most uncomfortable car.
But it doesn't fit.
That's real first world problems.
How is Cadillac? What's the panic level on Cadillac if their sales aren't that good?
Well, they're investing, I should say, over $12 billion into Cadillac. So they're really doing what they can to make that brand better. There is, though, a little bit of panic. I mean, you saw last week Neville Isdell, who used to run Coca-Cola and just retired from GM's board, said they need to do more than just investing $12 billion.
What's that urgency from Mary Barra?
Well, the problem is marketing. You know, I talked to Mary mostly about the Camaro, and as Brendan pointed out, the only goal of Camaro is to beat Mustang. Listen to what she had to say.
We're really proud of what the previous generation accomplished of leading, and again, it was you know, the market telling us that. And I think when you look at every aspect of the vehicle, yes, I think we will, and that's our goal.
I should point out that was an exclusive look at the car. I got to see it before anybody else did, and talked to Mary about it a little bit. She wanted to focus on just the Camaro. Obviously, there has been a lot to talk about for GM over the last year and a half, but she's pretty much overcome that. I mean, they've spent the $3 billion they need to for the ignition recall. They're now making $2 billion a quarter in profit, so they're doing fairly well.
Let's be clear on this. Itay Macaulay at Citigroup is adamant GM will outpace Ford. Is Ford afraid of GM right now?
They definitely are not winning in segments like this. For example, performance cars in the U.S. GM owns this market share, 28% of the entire performance car market in the U.S. I asked Mark Royce, the Executive Vice President for Products, why performance is important.
Our portfolio of technology is developed around the track and these cars, and you'll see cars all the way from the Volt, all the way up, and then the Spark and the BEV, and the Spark BEV, all the way through the top of the line Corvettes are going to have technology that we develop in the portfolio to do that. Racing proves it, so it's a very important part of our DNA.
So he's basically saying the technology that they develop for these performance cars goes through down to the Cruise, the Spark, the Sonic, and that's what helps them out as a whole.
Do they make money here do they make money here like they do on a pickup truck?
They don't make as much money as they do on pickup trucks, especially in Camaro, because look, this is a $35,000 car.
How much?
A $35,000 car. I'm talking about the SS with a 455 horsepower engine. So that costs a lot, but they are making bigger margins than they do on Cruise. Still on the pickup trucks and on the SUVs. By the way, they own the big SUV market with 85% of that market. They're making $10,000.
All right, Matt Miller, thank you. Matt Miller, by the way, is never not testing a car.
That's true.
I enjoy testing the products of the companies I report on so I can see how they're doing, you know, as far as their design and production is going.